Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. And I want to say Shalom to Akanakwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled, Don't Play CEO When You're Only the Manager, right? And this comes from, just a little creative wordplay, all right? And this, it's inspired by this video called Keisha Hates the Lord. Now, it's from the brother Rai La Yasharallah. Yahweh Shai is coming back. I don't know what the full name of the channel is. I looked him up because I know his old page got deleted, and I wanted to see if he was still making stuff, to see what was going on with if he was still posting little things to make videos on. And so I found it, and this is one of the videos that was on there. Keisha Hates the Lord, and this Jake here, right? I don't know if he's supposed to be a reverend or a pastor or whatever you want, self-proclaimed, preacher of some sort. But he made a lot of points, all right, and I wanted to go ahead and play the video and, bring some scriptures out, and then we'll explain the title, don't play CEO when you're only the manager. So I'm going to go ahead and let this play. Let me turn it all the way up. I'm going to have to put the phone to my ear to try to listen along on some of the talking points that he makes, but Lord willing, it'll come through well. So I'm going to go ahead and let it play.
I would like your interpretation or how you understand helpmeet. What does God mean by when he created?
It's actually a matter of fact. Let me go and see if these headphones will work. I'll just take them out when it's after. I don't want to use the earphone microphone. So yeah, I can hear it better now. Lord willing, I think. Let me see if it's still recording. All right.
I would like your interpretation or how you understand helpmeet. What does God mean by when he created Eve to be Adam's helpmeet? Because I feel as though if you're building a house and I come to help you, that means I have some of the same capacities to do what you do. Go.
Here we go. If you can do it, I can do it. When an architect designs a house, it's usually just one. The only time help shows up is when the designs and the plans are approved. So when you think of helpmeet, what that means is that the design and the plans have been approved. So it's not that you can do it, I can do it. It's that I'm only here to help build what you already got in you, the design and the plan. So it's not that if you can do it, I can do it. No, that's not it. The helpmeet means that everything that's within you, I come to help you build that. The problem is you want to be equal to the man in the say-so in the architectural design. But when you showed up, it was already there. What man you ever dealt with that wasn't a man when you met him? He might have still acted like a little boy, but he had man parts and you enjoyed it. So what that tells me is that you are more interested in trying to become the architect. If that's the case, build your own house. Build your own legacy. But it wasn't given to you in that way. God gave it to the man. It is the man's responsibility. And it is your responsibility to help him build that. This is why I say, women are always talking about, he got to take care of me, he got to take care of me. That's not right. It should be, you are responsible to help him take care of you. That is the correct way to do it. If you're looking for a man to take care of you, then you are one lazy behind woman. And you don't want to be held accountable or even be responsible for yourself. And I'm telling you the truth. Because when it's done appropriately, go and read Proverbs 31. And they use that scripture a lot for women's services, Women's Day stuff. I don't believe in all that. I really don't get into all that stuff. But they use it for that. But if you read it, everything this woman is doing is to help that man take care of her. That's all she's doing. But when you're looking for it from a different perspective, well, he got to take care of me, he got to do this for me, he got to do that for me. What is it that you are bringing to that's the question that they keep asking the woman. What are you bringing to the table? Your skill level or your ability to help him or him to build you is in you being able to help him build you. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the woman or the women in his life are the ones who ends up with everything he built. You're the ones who.
There you go. You see it. So, 1 minute. So yeah, you heard what he said, and that's where there's a disconnect between the man and the woman, and you have these women that are trying, as he calls it, the architect. You have these women that are trying to play the architect, and their job was never to be the architect. Okay, their job was to be as assistants, and now you have the assistants trying to be the architect and trying to push the architect down into where they're supposed to be. And that's not how it is. Going back to the title, don't play CEO when you're only the manager. And I had some talking points here. You can't be a manager and start making up new rules and putting new signs up. I don't really like, here you are, you're the manager at a Burger King. I don't really like the name Burger King. What if we called it Burger Thang, and we changed the logo on that, and we're gonna change it. I'm gonna get in contact with some guys. We're gonna call it Burger Thang, and that's it. And I don't really like the Whopper. We're gonna call it the Big Boy, the Big Boy Burger. That's what we're gonna call it. And we're gonna, I don't really like the regular bun, so we're gonna use a flatbread bun, and we're gonna change all these different signs. The new rules is, the price. We're gonna change the prices. All right, that's another thing. We're gonna raise the prices up, and you can't do that. You can't do that if you're the manager. No, you can't do that. That's the CEO. That's the owner, really the owner, and the CEO have communication between that. That's not your job to do that. All right, and that's not to say being a manager is a bad position. Okay, and that's something with women. Manager's not a bad position. Okay, but you're not the CEO. And when men tell you you're not the CEO, you freak out. You say, oh, we're sexist pigs, blah, 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 this and that and that. Well, you need to have a manager. That's why there's chains of command. It has to happen. All right? You have to have the baseline workers. You have to have the assistant managers. You have to have the manager or the managers. All right? And then you have to have the district leader or the regionals. All right? And the people above them and the CEOs. All right? Directors of operations. All right? You have to have those things, man. All right? And then finally, the owner. Okay? And you can't try to act like you're the regional when you're the baseline employee. Or the manager can't try to be the regional. The manager cannot try to be the CEO. And the CEO cannot try to be the owner. Okay? That's just not how it works. There's order. And getting into order, 1 Corinthians 14 and 40, as we have it up already, says, let all things be done decently and in order. Okay? And that's, really referring to preaching and teaching these scriptures and, walking in this faith. But it shows you that everything with the Lord is dealing with order. And there's no order in the society. They have everything, ass backwards, as they like to say. And you have, women that are usurping authority over man. Here it is. We have the architect, and man was meant to be the authoritative figure. He was meant to be the authority. All right. And that's one position. It's a good position. All right. And you have women. All right. Well, let's start from the bottom. All right, you have animals, okay? And they need, they don't know certain things, right? So they need someone over them. So you can have children over them, right? The children can, tell the dog to sit. Tell the dog, stop, be bad, stop being bad, roll over, go outside, right? Can tell those things. That child doesn't have a fully developed mind, okay? Whether it's a male or a female, they don't know what's going on yet, all right? They're still in a childlike mindset because they are as children. They are children, all right? So they need an adult over them, all right? And that's where the woman, all right, who usually takes care of the house, comes into play, and you have the woman, all right, that's going to, take care of those children. All right. And of course, she's going to take all the way down. She's going to be in control of the children and the dogs. Okay. Now, those women, they need leadership too, because women tend to go astray when they don't have leadership. They are the weaker vessel. All right. They're more likely to get prone to demonic attacks. They're more likely to be persuaded to do wickedness and evil. All right. Remember, Eve was the first one that went off. All right. And then, through that subjected the man to be participant in her sin. Thus, Adam was not guiltless either. He was still guilty. All right. That's why you can't put, your trust in women. All right. And so then that happens. All right. So you have the man that's over her. All right. Well, who's over the man then? The Lord. All right. So you have Yahushua, who the world will ignorantly call, Jesus Christ. All right. And he's over us as well. Right, and we're have to, walk in his footsteps and do what is directive of him through his Father, because who is over Yahushua? Who is over Christ, as you would call him? All right, who is over Christ? His name's Yahushua, but for the sake of the lesson, some people are might be coming to this that don't know the names. The true name of the Son is Yahushua. The true name of the Father is Yahweh. Okay, those are the true biblical Paleo-Hebrew names. All right, they were Hebrew individuals, still are, and they have Hebrew names. All right, they're not, the word Jesus is a Greek name. All right, a Hebrew individual is not going to have a Greek name. All right, it can't be Jesus because the J wasn't invented until 1500s, and Yahushua, who you would call Jesus, was born much earlier than that. So, and actually in the original Bibles, his name was Iesus. So even before then, it wasn't Jesus, it was Iesus. So you're especially wrong. You're wrong if you say Iesus. You're especially wrong if you say Jesus. His name's Yahushua. His Father's name is Yahweh. You cannot reach the Father but through the Son. All right. No one can reach the Father but through me. All right. Roughly paraphrasing. So, and he's subject to Yahweh, the Father. All right, who you would call God. Okay. And God is subject to who? No one. He's the creator. All right. He created everything. He created the rule and how it should go. So there's no one over him. He made the rules. All right. He knows what to do. He knows why the wind blows and what direction it blows in, and why the water's this cold and why the water's this hot, and why the grass is green or why it's dying or why it's dead or why it's being brought back or why the lights are on or lights are off. He created everything. He knows why it is, and that's why he has it as it is because it's his story at the end of the day. He made it to be the way he wanted it to be because he's the creator. Okay, you can't argue with the Creator. And his Son, again, can't argue with the Creator. He's come to do the will of his Father. Okay, and through Yahushua, all right, we have that salvation. All right, because Yahushua died for our sins. All right, specifically Israel. Okay, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and So through that, and then you have man after him, and then you have woman, and then you have child, and then you have animal, and then the only thing an animal could possibly be over is a bug. All right, not that they're controlling bugs. I'm just saying, and the bug, could only be over what? Something that's even smaller than a bug, like a molecule. All right, and of course, there's nothing smaller. All right, just like there's nothing greater than Yahweh, there's nothing smaller than like a molecular level, like an atom. All right, there's nothing an atom, like an atom, scientific level, not ADAM, but atom. All right, like literal matter. All right, like there's nothing that's gonna get smaller than that. So of course nothing could be under that. All right, like nothing can be greater than Yahweh. And I'm just using an example on a chain of command, and that's how everything has. In a pack of lions or in a pack of tigers. All right, or however I don't know if tigers form packs or whatever they would necessarily call them, or if they're more. I think they're more of a solo hunters. But I know lions hunt in packs, dogs hunt in packs. They have an order. All right, they have an order. They have a. It's not a monarchy. I think it's a monarchy. They work in a monarchy. They have a king, the king, right? The pride leader, as they would call him. And they're, the director of operations. They're like that CEO. So you can't have, this newborn cub trying to go and establish dominance. And what happens if you try to establish dominance over that? Bam, you get your ass whacked out. All right? And it's the chickens. They have a pecking order. All right, you have it's just in every form of the animal kingdom. If you look to it, there is order, but there's no order anymore. There used to be order among humans, but there's no order anymore because that order has been broken. All right, people have stopped believing in the order. They stopped talking about the order. They stopped withholding that said order. So now there's no order, and because of that, now there's things getting out of order in the animal kingdom because everything's so out of order that it's fucked to the core, right? And like it says in 1 Corinthians, here in 1 Corinthians, what is it, 20, or where are we? 1 Corinthians 14, not 20, 14 and 40, let all things be done decently and in order. And nothing, in this world is done decently in order. All right, it's all out of whack. And you have these women that are legitimately trying to, usurp authority over the man, as we're going to get just in a minute. And they're trying to act like they're the architect. And they wonder why everything's fucked up. And they act like their job, all right, say if you have the architect, they have to be the builders, right? If we're the architects, and they have to be the builders. And we are as builders as well, but they're like the lesser builders as well. And and that's that, and they are essentially the builders because as we're going to get in Proverbs 41, talking about women building the house, they are as builders. If we're the architects, they are the builders. A builder is not a bad job. You have to have the builder. All right, the architect has to have the builder has to have the architect. That is there's a synergy there that has to be synonymous with one another. Okay, you can't have the architect, and the architect can go around and do stuff, but he's going to have builders at the end of the day. Okay, and the builder has to have an architect. Okay, if you try to just build things by yourself, if you don't have an architect, it's gonna fucking fall over, man. You can't just start building without an architect, without plans. You just get wood and nails and start hammering shit wherever. You might have something that's barely holds itself together at the end of the day, like a little shack. But don't be surprised when a gust of wind comes and it fucking snaps it because you didn't put the support beams in the right place, or you didn't put a load bearing this or that, right? Or you didn't put a screw in the right area or a nail in the right area. You didn't build the roof of the house right, and now the roof collapsed, or there's a leak, or you can try to go and build it like that, but it's just not going to work. And an architect can go and try to build all day by himself. But at the end of the day, that's going to be a lot of work. He needs a helper, all right? He needs that builder, okay? So a building is not, an architect is not a bad job. A builder is not a bad job, all right? An architect needs a builder, and the builder needs the architect, all right? The difference is we can get our builders from wherever, all right? That's the thing that you don't realize. We can get our builders from wherever. There's a whole lot of builders that are ready to build, and there's a whole lot of ones that just want to sit around on the job. And we're not going to be a participant in these lazy ass builders. They can't even be called that. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to put any work in. They don't want to so much as lay a fucking nail down on the strip. They don't want to hammer anything out. They just want to. I want the house to be ready. Well, are you not going to build it? You're not going to help anything towards it. You just want what? Everything to be just given to you. All right, And, and that's the state where women are. And women are saying, well, we don't want it. We're in a bad position. It's not a bad, so now it's a bad thing to be a mother. It's a bad thing to be a wife now. It's only bad because you've been told it's bad. All right. And it's the same way homosexuality is now homosexuality is only good now because you've been told it was good. It was bad all throughout history. All right. It was something that was scrutinized and you would be punished severely for it. All right. And you only now, because everybody changed the narrative, are you thinking that it's something good? Because, 100 years ago, you would have thought that it's something bad. But now the narrative has been changed, and now you think it's something good. All right, it's the same thing with you being a mother. It's motherhood has been now demonized and criticized and ostracized to the point where now being a mother is a bad thing. It's bad to be subject to your husband. It's bad to be a good wife. All right, you need to be free and fuck as many men as you want, and go around and be a drug hoe and go to festivals and fucking take ecstasy and party it up. That's the good thing. That's the bad thing. You've been tricked. You've been lied to. And if I was a woman, I'd be pissed as hell. But you women, instead of realizing your mistake and realizing that the overall majority of these women have lied to you, all right, whether it's your these people that you idolize, your people like Cardi B, I don't cook, I don't clean, let me tell you how to do this. Guess what? She has a husband. Single ladies, single. She's not single. She has a man. Cardi B has a man. Beyonce has a man. Britney Spears has a man. They all have men. You've been lied to by these women. Oh, you don't need no man. They all have men. You've been lied to. If I was a woman, I'd be pissed as hell. You've been lied to. That's it. Move on. Realize you've been lied to. All right. Go ahead and stop being in that fucking lascivious lifestyle. Repent. all right, and get yourself a real man, all right? Not a drug dealing ass, fucking coke, crack rock slinging ass hood ninja, but get yourself a real man, all right, and work on building yourself a house, all right, and not a literal house, but building your house as in a relationship and you know, not necessarily a family because we're so close to the end, all right, but, you know, if we had more time, that's what you would be working toward is a family. Okay, you know, having children, because that's, you know, through a woman, you know, other than her glory or her hair or her glory is, you know, through her husband and her children, and you know, and well, you've been lied to. No, we haven't been lied to. You've been lied to. All right, look at all the other women in every other country. All right, look at the Indian woman. You know what the most important thing in an Indian woman's life is? All right, having children. All right. Having children. What about those African women having children? You know what the most important thing in an Edomite or Babel or Andub Ega woman's life in America is? I don't even know. You know, a 1,000 dick combo, I guess. You know, how many dudes can bust up in me, right? How many dudes can I get within a month? What's the goal? What is the goal? What do you look? What is the goal at the end of the day? What is the accomplishment for the American woman? What is it? Being what? Money? Just having a shit ton of money for what? To do what? Just spend as you will? What is it? All right? It's not having a family. It's not being thought of, you know, I want to be important. Did you realize that to your children, you are the most important thing in the world? All right? To them. Okay? You know, these women are damn near war, and I'm not, you know, outside of the biblical perspective, because that shouldn't be happening. You know, it should be, you know, even with children, you should instill that the most important thing in the world is Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That should be instilled in the children young. But in the world here, as most of you are in, all right, and you're living in the world outside of this truth, they're not in this truth, so that doesn't apply to them. So they have what, Mother's Day and all these different things where women are worshipped. All right, Mother's Day, you get a brand new car, you get a box of chocolates, you get this and that, you get taken out for dinner. Father's Day, you get a fucking tie. You get a tie. Congratulations, #1 dad. You get a cup. All right, so that's what you get. And this women worship is deep. It runs deep in this Babylonian society, man. And you have the goal to complain, women's rights, feminism. What right do you not have? What right do you not have? You've been given everything. You have the power of a man now. Congratulations. You can go and get a job. You can go and vote. You can drive a car. You can be outside at all sorts of crazy hours at 3 a.m. without anybody. You know, you want to go somewhere where they don't have any female rights, go to fucking Dubai. All right, go to Saudi Arabia. All right, go to what's that place? Fucking starts with a S. Syria. Go to Syria. You want to know what it's like to not have rights as a female? Go to Syria. You cannot leave the house without a man. You cannot buy something without a man. You're not allowed to drive. You're not allowed to have any type of vote there. You know, go there and fucking come back and drop the feminism. You know, what can you not do here that a man can do? Let the wage gap. Shut the fuck up about the wage gap. Okay? Men have a wage gap too. You want to know why we have a wage gap? For some reason, women are making more there's more money being made annually from women in nail tech careers and from hairdressing careers than men. That's a wage gap. Why are women making so much more money than us in those fields of business? It's because men don't work those fields of business. So yes, you're going to see a larger field of work with a gap between men and women because women aren't going to work plumbing jobs. Women are not going to work construction jobs. Women are not going to work any of these hard, laborious, body-intensive jobs. They're not going to work any of those jobs. So yes, there's going to be a gap. There's going to be a period, an area, all right, where there's not much money being made for women, for females. Oh, don't use the term female now. And you make these fucking rules up, and they're ridiculous. There's going to be a term. There's going to be an area where women aren't making that much money because where are all the plumbers for women? I don't see a lot of women plumbers. I don't see a lot of women construction workers. All right, I don't see a lot of women in the STEM field. I don't see a lot of women in any of these sorts of fields that you're gonna see. What about mechanics? Why are there not so many mechanics? Because they're not applying for those jobs and working for those jobs. It's just the same reason why there's not going to be a lot of there's going to be more females. All right, in gynecology, there's going to be more females in nail tech and hairdressing careers and in cosmetology and beauty and all the beauticians and what else and seamstresses and all these different more feminine careers. You're gonna and soap making and different things like that. You're gonna see more women in those careers than you are gonna see men. Are there gonna be few and far in between men? Yes, absolutely. But there's not gonna be as many as females. Just like with the male dominated careers, there's gonna be a wage gap. So outside of the wage gap, what else? What else? That you're not allowed to just kill your baby willy-nilly now that the whole Roe v. Wade's been overturned? You know, is that what your defining factor as a woman and having your rights are? Is that you should be able to kill your baby because you made it? Well, guess what? It's a 50-50. Guess what? If I didn't bust up in you, that baby wouldn't have been made. So why can't I say I should be obligated if I don't want that baby, right? And I'm just not that this is right because that father's supposed to be in the child's life, but by that same mean, it should be optional for me to even have to participate in that child's life. I should be able to opt out if you decide to have that baby. I should opt out and say I'm not paying child support. I don't want this child. She decided to have it anyway. Yada yada yada. But we can't do that. Why? Because this society favors women, and not that you should do that because that's wicked as well. Because you're supposed to be in that baby's life, and it's supposed to live and not be aborted. Okay. But I'm just using it on the other side of the spectrum. If you can decide to abort that baby, why can't I decide to not be play the role of father? Why can't I say, no, I don't want that kid. You were kind of just a one-night hit it and quit it. I just felt like busting in you anyway, and then I don't want to be a dad. I don't want to be a dad. So no, you can have the kid. Never mind. I don't want it. With child support, no, I don't want to do child support. I already told you I didn't want to be a dad, and you still try to say that I'm a dad. I told you I was an ain't shit ass, hood rat ass, living on Martin Luther King Street, eating chitlin ass Igga, and you try to keep me to be a father, and I didn't want to do that, and now you're subjecting me to that. All right, and I didn't want to do that. So you could have, and there's guys like that, and they're not. You think they want to be fathers? No. But the women could still go after him, and I ain't no dad. I didn't want to be a father, but you have to be. But if a woman doesn't want to be a mother, she can just kill that baby, and that's the whole thing upon women's rights. Women's rights are now based upon if you can kill your baby or not. Can I kill my baby? No, you cannot. Women's rights. That's human rights. That's human rights. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. It's not. You're right. It's your body, but that being that's in you is not your body. It's in your body, but it's not your body. If you want to go and chop your own head off, go right for it, man. You want to chop your arms off and your titties off and carve crazy things all on your body. You go right ahead, you psycho bitch. But that's your body. But what is within you is not your body. That is something in my body. If I have a turd, all right, that's not my body. It's in me, in my digestive tract, but it's not me. I'm not a turd, right? So if you have something within your womb, that's not you. It's a part of me. It's living off of you, all right, and you are providing sustenance to it, but it's not you. It is not your body. It has a heartbeat that is a separate entity inside of you. It is not your body. It's their body in your body, dummy, all right? Anyway, let me get another scripture because I'm ranting, because nothing these fucking women of this world, it doesn't make sense. They're trying to usurp authority and be the men, but then when they have to be the man, you ain't man enough. Well, you're over here acting like you're fucking, a football quarterback with how manly you are. What you gonna do? Why don't you love me no more, baby? Ain't nobody want that. Ain't nobody want a brute fucking gorilla bitch. Ain't nobody want no gorilla wildebeest ass bitch. All right, and you're so damn masculine, you're damn near gonna grow a mustache. You're over here. You're manly as fuck. Honestly, a lot of you women are just manly as fuck, and you wonder why no man wants you, because you get over here, you're fucking acting like Rasputin and shit. No man wants that. No man wants that. Ain't nobody men are shit. They don't want to get with me. Nobody wants to get with you, man. If you were even a lesbian, nobody would want to get with your fucking big fucking water buffalo looking ass. Nobody would want to get with you, man. You're nasty. You're gross. You don't cook. You don't clean. All you do is bitch about men all day. Wah wah wah. All right, that's all you do. Nobody wants to be with that. You gonna clean? No. You gonna cook? No. What are you gonna do around? I'm just going to work and building up our house, and you just sitting around doing nothing. Do you want kids? I don't want no damn kids. Fuck them kids. What are you in my house for? I could just get a dog. All right. If I wanted something in my house that provides companionship, that don't cook, that don't clean, that I can't, that you can't have any sort of, family building with, I'd just get a dog. Hell, a dog would be more of a family asset than you. You don't want to be participant in anything. I could take my dog for walks. I could go on vacation with my dog. I could teach my dog a new trick. I could teach him how to shake. You can't do anything with your gorilla bitch ass. Can't teach you to cook, clean, but you won't cook, but you'll sure eat a whole bunch. God damn, man. Anyway, ran over for a time being. 1 Timothy 2:12, it says, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve." For Adam was first formed, then Eve. Who came first, the chicken or the egg? Who came first, Adam or Eve? Adam. You were made for us. We were not made for you. We were made to be here first. You came after, all right? You were the help, all right? It sounds fucked up. You were the help. Congratulations, and we need that help. But you don't want to be the help, so why do we need you? If you don't want to do why do we have to do our task and be providers and breadwinners and men if you don't want to be what you have to fucking do? And we have to give you all of our money, all right, and do all of our tasks. And if we don't do our tasks, we're a piece of shit ass man, we ain't shit ass nigga, yada yada yada. But you won't want to do any of your womanly duties. We have to do all of our manly duties. You don't have to do none of yours. And we're a piece of shit, but you're an empowered woman. What the fuck is that, man? What the fuck is that? All right? You swearing during the script. Get the fuck out of here. We ain't Christians. We're not Christians. We don't believe in Jesus Christ. All right? We're not in any of that. Get out of here. You don't know where you're at. Learn your place, man. Learn your place. Go back to your badass ass woman, or you're probably one of them yourself. We don't deal with you over here, man. You post a dumbass comment, it gets deleted. You either sit down, shut up, and learn, or you can get the hell out of here, man. All right? Private Bible lessons. If you don't like them, then leave. Womp womp. All right? 13, for Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. All right, but he was also complicit because of that sin, because, he went and convened with Eve and all that. And but she sinned first. It was her. Through her, we all die. Right? So, and right there in verse 12, nor to usurp authority over the man. Usurping authority. What does it mean to usurp authority? We got to go look that up. We got to open Vivaldi. What does it mean to usurp? What does it mean to usurp? To take a position of power or importance illegally or by force. Okay? To take the position of someone in power illegally. To supplant someone. To overthrow. I'm the man now, bitch. And then, so you want like there's that Bo Burnham. They want a good guy, bad guy, a half bad, half good, bad guy. It's like, what do you want? You want a man that's hard, but not too hard because you want him to be soft, but not too soft because then he's a bitch and he's a pussy. But you don't want him in the middle because then he ain't got nothing special going on. He's kind of just boring, And I wish he'd bring me roses, but if he brings you roses, now he's a simp. Oh, you a simp ass. But if he says, fuck you, bitch, now he's too mean. So he's got to be like a nice guy that sells drugs, but doesn't hit you too much, only every other day. All right, but he does hit other people, but he only drug deals on the weekend because you want to have time. The guy you want, and he's got to make $200K. He's got to be 6'5", all right, and he's got to have white traits as a black man. This guy does not exist. He does not exist. But guys, what do you want? I just want a woman who's thin. Oh, you fucking blah, 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 blah. Oh, you asking about my weight now? Well, yeah, so you're going to ask about, how much money we make. You're going to ask how much, how tall we are. But if we ask one thing, how do you weigh? Uh-oh. No, now we're you fucking, you're what are you're fat phobic. Damn right I'm fat phobic. Fat phobic, homophobic, all the phobics. Right? Yeah, I don't want no fat bitch. Yeah, I'm afraid when a fat bitch comes around. She might just sit on my ass. I don't want no fat bitch in my house. God damn, if elevators can have a weight limit, my house can have a weight limit too, god damn it. No 350-pound gorilla bitch needs to be up in nobody's house. All right, you need to go out for a walk is what you need to do. Sitting around the goddamn house all day, looking like my 500-pound life. Fucking disgusting, man. Rock on a goddamn treadmill. Jeez. If for all that I know you're spending more than $10, you can go and get a fucking gym membership for $10, $15, $25 a month. Right? You can go and do that. I know you're spending at least that on food per day. You fucking fat gorilla ass bitch. Go and work out. God damn. Think instead of eating a burger, eat a salad. Jeez. But we're wrong. You don't love me. You don't love me for who I am. No one's gonna love you for who you are. But you don't love us for who we are if we ain't making absorbent amounts of money. You don't love us for, you women in general, most of you women in the world, other than a few loving women that are out there, you don't love your man. You love what they do for you, all right? All right, you love their money, all right? You love their looks, all right? You love how they treat you. You love that they buy you things, all right? That you live in their house, all right? That's what you love. You don't love that man. You love their things, all right? You love their items that they bought, okay? And you want those items because you're too lazy to go and get a goddamn job yourself and work for them. All right. And again, and if you're a woman that's staying at home, cooking and cleaning, doing that stuff, that is your job. As a woman, that is your job. All right. And if a man can sufficiently provide for you, then he should be doing that. As a man, if I have enough money and my woman's cooking and cleaning and staying home, I'm fine with preparing and taking care of her needs. All right. As far as money and situational bases. Right. But if I'm doing my job and she's just sitting at home, not cooking, not cleaning, not doing nothing, it's just sitting around. I come home, there's no food. All right, there's no nothing. Nothing's been done. All right, it's just like, well, what am I doing what I'm doing for? And, apparently, none of us are doing our job. So why do I have to do it's not fair. It's just like, figure this. I'm trying, and I'm doing a lot of rambling because I'm trying to give you enough examples so maybe you can see it. Think about if you had a roommate and one of those roommates was paying rent and one of them wasn't. You would feel upset that person wasn't paying rent. Why? Because they're not doing their half. Everybody agreed to do their half. All right, that one roommate is paying their bills. It's that man that's going to work. Then one's not doing it. All right, well, that's that woman that's staying home and do nothing. Why do I have to pay my rent if you're not going to pay your rent? And see, now that's going to cause relational conflicts amongst the house. Why is this person paying rent and I still have to pay my rent? If they're not paying, I don't want to pay either. And that's the state. And now all these women are as, rentless roommates, using them as rentless roommates as an example. And now instead of fixing what they're doing, they're convincing all the other women that they should be rentless roommates as well. And now the men are just saying, fuck it, I'll just live by myself. And now we're the assholes because we said, we'll just pay the rent and just be ourselves then because we don't need the roommate that's not going to help. And now we're the assholes. How to make that make sense? How are we the assholes for going our own way and saying, well, if you're not going to bring it to the table, we're just going to stay by ourselves and, we'll just get with the hit it and quit it and boom, boom, bam. That's it. All right. And, why are we the assholes? But you're not the assholes. It's because you want a man. It's just you don't want to step to the qualifications that having a man has. You want to be able to be lazy and just have a man pay for you. But that's not how it works, okay? If you want that, then just be a prostitute, all right? If that's what you want, if you want if you don't want to be nothing but more than a bitch that spreads her legs, let a man go up in you, and then you get some money and go on your way, then that's a prostitute. That's a prostitute, all right? You don't want to have no kids. You don't want to cook. You don't want to clean. That's a prostitute. That's what prostitutes do. Okay? And a lot of you women are basically just prostitutes as it is. Okay? You basically prostituting yourself. A lot of you got OnlyFans. You're just a prostitute. All right? This man, it's because you don't really want a man. All right? You don't really care about a man. You want the companionship sometimes of a man, but without anything that comes along with having a man in your life. You really just want to the only thing you bring to the table is box. All right? And you just want someone to go up in you, give you some money, be on your way. That was it. If you women could have that, you'd just be happy. And that's called being a prostitute. I don't know if you women knew that, but that's a thing that people are out there, right? Now, I'm not convincing anybody to go and be a prostitute, but I'm saying that's a quote unquote job out in that world, all right? A wicked one at that. But hey, if that's what you want, I guess that's what you are. That you're looking to be a prostitute, not to be a wife, right? You're not looking to be a girlfriend or anything like that. You're just looking to give you some bucks and get some money. That's a prostitute. That's that official job title. Okay, is a prostitute. So 1 Corinthians 11:3, just 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach. Slakia. No, we didn't read this one already, I don't think. But 1 Corinthians 11, right, and 3 says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. So, and just like there's different rules, there's different rules. Look at verse 4. Every man praying or prophesying having his head covered dishonoreth his head. So us as men, we can't pray with our head covered, but look for the women. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head, for that is even all as one, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. But if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. So we can't. There's different rules. You just have different rules. Yeah, we have different rules. All right. The Lord even gave us different rules. I can't pray with my head covered. You women have to pray with your head covered. That's a different rule. All right. Well, I don't like it. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't. It's not a matter if you like it or not. There's some times where I'm cold, and yeah, would it be nice to, if I'm praying or prophesying, would it be nice to have my head covered? Yeah, it would be nice, but I can't do it. The Lord said, don't do it. So you know what? I don't do it, right? It would be, yeah, my head's cold, but guess what? I guess my head's just going to have to be cold. All right, I'll pull the hoodie up to just my ears to where it doesn't get in the way of my head. Or I'll do or what I'll do is, you get some earmuffs or something. I usually just pull my hoodie up to where my ears are. All right, and just, let the fabric rest on the ears, because that's not my head. It's not the top of my head. All right, it's not nowhere near my hair. It's just on my ears. All right, like earmuffs. Okay, earmuffs are not a head covering. They're an ear covering. Okay. But, we're subject to the Lord, all right? The Lord's subject to Yahweh. But, the only ones that really have a problem with it, and there are men that have a problem with being subject to the Lord, all right? But as far as, like, in gender basis, the only ones that really have a problem with their role is the women right now, So, that sounds like a you problem, That doesn't sound like our problem, okay? If I'm paying my rent, and now all of a sudden you've decided not to pay your rent, it's not my fault when you get kicked out the house. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to use a lot of euphemisms. I'm trying to use a lot of, I'm rambling on and talking a lot because I'm trying to get this in every single way that you could possibly see it. If you see it, you see it. You don't, you don't. Okay? But how would you feel if a roommate, you had an agreement, all right, and now they don't want to pay their rent? Okay, well, what if that roommate's paying more? So you're paying $500, they got to pay $800, all right? Because that's what you're doing. You're making us do more work. You don't know what men go through on a daily basis, all right? There is a woman that was disguised as a man. She did it for a year, and she said she's never been closer to suicide. She was depressed. She said the life of a man is a very depressing and loveless life, okay? And she couldn't do it anymore. She stopped. She stopped because she was getting suicidal. So you don't know what men go through. Don't say, oh, you have it easy. No, the fuck we do not have it easier. But first of all, bitch, we have to deal with you right now with what you're saying. You're not making it easier at all. You're making it harder, right? Would you want to listen to a nagging-ass bitch all day? No, you would not. But that's what you're being. So no, just right off that bat, you have the... You're different. Look, man, you don't have anything... You don't have anything that you have to do, right? You don't have to get a job. You can just find a man and live off of him. Well, real hard life. You can just go sell pictures of your butthole online, man, and make $50 a fucking pop. That's not a hard life. That's not a hard life at all. You can sell your panties or your socks to some Quentin Tarantino type motherfuckers, right? And they'll buy them, and then you'll just be able to make your money doing that, right? So that's not a hard life at all. All right, the life of a Babylonian, the life of a wicked Babylonian woman is not a hard life at all. You can go and join porn. That's all wicked. Well, you don't care about that because you're wicked, right? So that's not hard. That's not a hard life at all. All right, you're getting by through wickedness. You're reaping the rewards of sin, right? That's what you're gonna do, and because you're all wicked and sinful anyway. All right, and you're all adulterers and lascivious, sexual perverts. All right, going around getting man to man, right? Well, it's okay for you to go woman to woman. Different rules. You can have your head covered. I can't. A man can have multiple women, all right, multiple wives. A woman cannot have multiple husbands. Different rules. Well, I don't like the rules we were given. Well, hey, take that up with the Lord. I didn't make the rules, all right? I only preach them. So if you don't like that, that's because you hate the Lord. And if you hate the Lord, oh boy, do you have bigger problems on your hands. All right, you should stop arguing with me, and you should take that one up with the Lord because he's gonna wipe your ass out, man. All right, I'm gonna get Proverbs 14:1, and we're gonna go ahead and close out. It says, "Now, this is a closing point for you women." All right, and a lot of you women clicked off this video 20, 30 minutes ago, however long I've been going. You click as soon as you hear me, nope, and you clicked off. Right, but for you women that stayed. Proverbs 14:1, if you women that stayed, you're probably pretty wise. Proverbs 14:1, it says, every wise woman buildeth her house, encouraging her husband and building up her husband and building up her children and establishing this life together. All right. But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. I don't need no man. I don't need no man. Oh, I need a man. I don't need no man. I just wish I had a man. You don't need a man until you're 40 and you're crying on fucking YouTube short. I wish I had a man. I messed up. You women, you young girls. There's videos out there. We've showed them before. Stuck in there crying. You young women, don't take it for granted. I wish I would have got with a man when I was young. Too late now, bitch. You're old. Ain't nobody want no 55-year-old bitch. You're done, man. You're capped. 58, 60. You better find some old-ass man that something's fucking wrong with him because he's still single. or unless his wife died or something like that. But, you know, if they're a 60-year-old man, they ain't got nobody, hasn't been with it, what's wrong with him? Something's probably wrong with him, too. He probably beats his bitch, all right? Something's wrong with him, all right? Because men are a hot commodity. Women, on the other hand, once you're about 50 or 60, what are you going to do, all right? You're nothing more than just a end-of-life companion at that point. That's the only thing you can get, all right? You're not going to have children. You're not going to build a life. Hey, I'm really lonely because I didn't get with a woman young enough, and I can't find nobody, and you can't find nobody. Let's just get together and die together. I'm old, Margaret. That's all it is at the end of the day. You're lonely. You don't want to be alone no more. All right, you want to die together. All right, that's all you did. Your life's over. You're done, man. You didn't. All your child building and relationship building and all your memory making days are over. You know, remember when we were young? Remember when we were 19? Remember when we were 20? Remember when we got together? Remember when we first met each other? You remember none of that. Remember when I was 60? I met you in the old folks' home. You old raggedy bitch. That was 5 years ago. No, you don't have memory making time at that age, man. You're done. Capped. All because you wanted to play CEO when all you were was a manager. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. That's the rant. That's the lesson over, right? Lord One was edifying. There's still edification in there within the rant. But, man, it makes you hotter than a cayenne pepper, man. Just this, to quote Ice Cube, higher than a cayenne pepper, right? And it makes you hotter than a cayenne pepper fucking thinking about these women and how they think. You know, it's not logical. And it shows you that women are emotional creatures because that's not a logical thought. Not a logical thought going around, all right? And that's why women need men to give them logic and say, hey, how are you thinking about that? You're letting your emotions cloud your judgment here. Think about this logistically. Here's A, B, and C. All right, you're trying to throw D in here. Forget D. D don't need it, all right? Just throw that away. But D, no, that's just something else. You're focusing on A, B, and C here, all right? That's your foundation. Don't try to add anything else. You're over here worrying about F, Y, and Z, and X, all right? A, B, C, focus on A, B, C. Oh, you're right, baby. You're right. That's how women are, all right? You need to help them, just like sometimes we get hot-headed because men have a lot of testosterone. I'm going to fuck him up. Don't do that, babe. Calm down. He ain't even worth it. You're just going to go to jail. It's stupid. He's dumb. Don't even, and women do that, the females, and, it's been exhibited in tigers and lions as well, that when a man, there was a video I saw with a male lion, all right, that was trying to, he was getting rowdy with the caretaker, and his woman came over and basically put her paw and said, hey, now, he's going to fuck you up, all right? Don't do it, all right? They're going to pull out some shit, and he backed off, all right? But women now they just encourage their man to fucking be a crash out and go and fucking air some building out, all because, he gave me a dirty look, Devontae. He gave me a dirty look. Go and air it out, baby. Ridiculous. Don't play the CEO when you're only a manager. That we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom, you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, Shalom.